Good afternoon, dear friends. In last lecture, I had seen the history of microbiology. Today, I am going to teach you the scope of microbiology as well as the branches of microbiology. Before that, what is microbiology? I have already discussed. What is microbiology? It is the microbiology is the study of living organisms of microscopic size. Microscopic size, it means those microorganisms which are observed under only microscope. It means which are unable to see by your naked eyes. That is microscopic size. It means uh, it only observed under microscope. That is microscopic size. For example, bacteria, viruses, protozoas, fungi, or algae. This is the microbiology. Second, the term microbiology, which was introduced by the French scientist, that is Louis Pasteur. In history, I have already told you what is the history or what is the Louis Pasteur and what is the term pasteurization and sterilization. The Louis Pasteur is the scientist who has demonstrated that the fermentation was caused by the growth of bacteria and yeast. Yes, the scientist Louis Pasteur, he demonstrated that the fermentation was caused by the growth of bacteria and yeast. This Louis Pasteur is known as a father of microbiology. Yes, keep in mind Louis Pasteur. Who is the father of microbiology? That is Louis Pasteur is the father of microbiology. Then next, these microorganisms cannot be seen by your naked eyes. That is, these are observed only under your microscope. Then microorganisms are present everywhere. For example, on earth, including human being, then plant, then soil, animals, then water, then food and atmosphere. It means the microorganisms are present everywhere. For example, everywhere on earth, including what? Animal, then plants, then water, food, then soil, then atmosphere. Then these microorganisms are, it may be helpful or it may be beneficial or harmful to the human being. Keep in mind the microorganisms, it may be beneficial or harmful to the human being. Then we will see the branches of microbiology. First, pure science, and second, applied science. In pure science, first bacteriology, second mycology, then protozoology, then algology, next parasitology, next genetic, and last immunology. We will see one by one. Here first, bacteriology. Bacteriology, it means the study of it means the study of bacteria, that is bacteriology. Second, mycology, it is the study of fungi, that is mycology. The next, protozoology, it is the study of protozoa, that is protozoology. Second, algology, it is the study of algae. Then parasitology, it is the study of parasites. Next, genetics, it is the study of heredity and variations. Next, immunology, it is the study of mechanism involved in the development of resistance by body to infectious disease. I am repeating the branches of biology in pure science. First, bacteriology, that is study of bacteria. Second, mycology, it is the study of fungi. Then protozoology, it is the study of protozoa. Then algology, it is the study of algae. Then parasitology, it is the study of parasites. Then genetics, it is the study of heredity and variation. Then immunology is the study of mechanism involved in development of resistance by the body to any infectious disease. Next, that is applied science. In applied science, it includes various branches, sub branches. For example, medical microbiology, then pharmaceutical microbiology, industrial microbiology, food microbiology, soil microbiology, agriculture microbiology, aquatic microbiology, air microbiology, and epidemiology. I am repeating: first, medical microbiology, then pharmaceutical microbiology, industrial microbiology, food microbiology, soil microbiology, agriculture microbiology, aquatic microbiology, air microbiology, and epidemiology. We will see one by one. First, medical microbiology. It means it deals with the study of causative agents of any infectious diseases in human. The medical microbiology has close link with other disciplines such as pathology, then clinical medicines, pharmacology, and therapeutics. So, what is medical microbiology? It is the study of causative agents of any infectious disease of human. And this medical microbiology having close link with what? Such as pathology, clinical medicine, pharmacology, and therapeutics. Next, pharmaceutical microbiology. Yes, it is the study of microorganisms which are responsible for the production of various antibiotics, production of various enzymes, then production of vitamins, then production of vaccine, and the production of other pharmaceutical substances. Yes, what is pharmaceutical microbiology? It deals with, or it is the study of various microorganisms which is responsible for the production of various antibiotics, for the production of various enzymes, for the production of vaccines, or production of vitamins, and also production of the other pharmaceutical substances. Then it also include the methods of sterilization and methods of disinfection, the microbiological testing of pharmaceutical and sterile product preparation, and also diagnosis of disease and treatment. In pharmaceutical microbiology, it also includes what? First thing, that is sterilization. First thing, that is methods of sterilization, then methods of disinfection, then microbiological testing of various pharmaceuticals, then preparation of various sterile products, then diagnosis of disease and treatment. Then next, industrial microbiology. It is the study of industrially useful microorganism in the production of alcoholic beverages, then vitamins, enzymes, antibiotic, then amino acids, and other drugs. Yes, what is industrial microbiology? It deals with the study of industrially useful microorganism in the production of various antibiotics, enzymes, amino acids, then beverages, and vitamins. This industrial microbiology also includes fermentation technique in the production of various or in the production of compound. Then next, food microbiology. It deals with this the interaction of microorganism and food in relation to food processing. What is food microbiology? It deals with the study of what? The interaction of microorganism and food in the relation to food processing. Then food spoilage, then foodborne diseases, their prevention, and it also include the preparation and preservation of food products. Yes, what is food microbiology? It is the study of interaction between the microorganism and food in relation to the food processing, then food spoilage, then foodborne diseases, and also it includes their prevention, then preparation and preservation of food products. It is the study of soil microbes and interaction among the soil microorganisms. Then next, agriculture microbiology. Yes, what is agriculture microbiology? It deals with the study of relationship of microorganism and crops. It deals with the study of micro relationship between the microorganism and crop. The next, aquatic microbiology. Aquatic microbiology deals with the study of microorganisms and their activity in the fresh and marine water, including lakes, rivers, then bays and seas. That is aquatic microbiology. It also includes water purification, then microbiological examination and biological degradation of waste products. Yes, what is aquatic microbiology? The aquatic microbiology is the study of microorganisms. Is the study of microorganism and their activity in the fresh and marine water, including lakes, rivers, and seas. It also includes degradation, biological degradation of waste, then water purification and microbiological examination. Then next, air microbiology. It deals with the study of role role of aerospora in the contamination and the spoilage of food. It also the study of the spreading of plant and animal diseases through the air. That is your air microbiology. And last, epidemiology. It is concerned with the monitoring, control and the spread of diseases in communities. It is important. Yes, what is epidemiology? It concerned with what? First thing, monitoring. Second, control. And third, spread of disease in the spread of various diseases in the community. These are the branches of microbiology. Next, scope and importance of microbiology. First, scope. It is useful for microbiology. It is useful for what? Production of antibiotics, for example penicillin. And the penicillin, it is obtained from penicillium. Second objective or second scope, it is useful for production of enzymes, vaccines, then biosurfactant, then alcoholic and other pharmaceutical products. Then next, it is useful for diagnosis of disease and also treatment of disease. For example, ELISA. What is ELISA? That is enzyme linked immunosorbent assay. It is the test. And second, Vidal test. Yes, it is useful for diagnosis of disease and also treatment of diseases. For example, ELISA. So what is ELISA? It is enzyme linked immunosorbent assay. And second, Vidal test. Then next, it is useful for treatment of industrial waste as well as industrial material. Then next, it is also useful for plant growth promotion. Then next, it is used for preparation of sterile product. Then next, it is important for sterilization or it is essential for sterilization. So what is sterilization? It is the process of killing all microorganisms. For example, moist heat sterilization, then dry heat sterilization or membrane filtration. These are the sterilization technologies. Yes, what I am saying, moist heat sterilization, then dry heat sterilization and membrane filtration. Next, it is also useful for steroid biotransformation. For example, progesterone and testosterone. Next, it is essential for identification of microorganism. For example, the morphological characteristics of microorganism, that is morphology of microorganism, then culture of microorganism or the microscopic study of microorganism. Then last, it is also useful for what? The testing of various pharmaceutical products and also testing of various raw material. This is all about the scope and importance of microbiology. In short, I am repeating. First thing, what is production of antibiotic, then for production of enzymes, then diagnosis of disease and treatment, for example ELISA and Vidal test, then essential for what? Treatment of raw material and industrial waste material, then it is also useful for plant growth promotion, then sterile product preparation, then it is also essential for sterilization, then it is also useful for steroid biotransformation, then next, that is identification of microorganism, and last, testing of various pharmaceuticals and testing of raw material. In pure sorry The pure microbiology is also called as theoretical microbiology, and second, the applied microbiology is also called as practical microbiology. These are the synonyms. What I am saying, the pure microbiology is also called as what? That is theoretical microbiology. And second thing, the applied microbiology is also called as practical microbiology. The theoretical microbiology is the study of occurrence, then study of forms, study of structure, study of classification, study of physiology, then study of reproduction, study of heredity, and study of variation and evolutions of microbes. This is all about the scope, importance, and branches of microbiology. Then we will see the next part of our syllabus, that is prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. So what is prokaryotic cells? These are the cells which is lack a well defined nucleus, is called as prokaryotic cell. For example, bacterial cell and blue green algae. Then second, eukaryotic cell. These are the cell which having the well defined nucleus, is called as eukaryotic cells. For example, plant and animal cell. Are you getting the point? That is prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic. Yes, what is prokaryotic? These are the cell which is lack in well defined nucleus, that is prokaryotic. And for example, bacterial cell and blue green algae. Now what is eukaryotic cell? These are the cell which having well defined nucleus, is called as eukaryotic cell. And what are these examples of eukaryotic cell? Plant cell and animal cell. Then what is prokaryote? These are the organism made up of prokaryotic cells, is called as prokaryote. Example, bacterial cell and blue green algae. And second, eukaryote. These are the organism, it consisting of eukaryotic cell, or it is made up of eukaryotic cell. This cell is called as eukaryote. Example, plant cells and animal cells. We see the flow chart. For example, organism in presence of nucleus, or without nucleus, as I said earlier, it is prokaryotic. For example, bacteria, that is Escherichia coli. Then organism with nucleus, that is eukaryotic. Then if it contains one cell, then it is called as single cell organism. And if it contains the many cells, then it is called as multicellular organism. If it contains the one cell, it is called as what? Single cell. The example of single cell organism, that is amoeba. And examples of multicellular organism, animal cell or plant cell. Next, we will see the difference between prokaryotic and eukaryotics. First, prokaryote, it is the lack of membrane bounded organelles. And eukaryotics, it possesses the membrane bounded organelles. In prokaryote, the ribosomes are the only organelles, that is 70s, and it contains the multiple organelles, that is it includes the ribosomes are 80s. Then in prokaryote, the genetic material flowed in the cytoplasm, that is DNA and RNA, that is. And eukaryote, the membrane is covered by the genetic material. Then in prokaryotic, it having the circular DNA. In eukaryotics, it having the linear DNA. In prokaryotic, as I said earlier, it is unicellular. And eukaryotics, it may be multicellular or it may be unicellular. In prokaryotics, the cells are smaller in size. In eukaryotics, it is the cells are larger in size. In prokaryotics, the cells, it having the larger number of organisms, it has the smaller number of organisms. Then prokaryotics, it is appeared 4 billion years ago, and this appeared 1 billion years ago. Here this is the structure of prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell. We will see the structure. It contains the plasma membrane, cytoplasm, then nucleoid regions. Then we will see the nucleus is only present in which cell? Yes, it is only present in eukaryotic cell. This is the main basic difference between what? The prokaryotic cells or eukaryotic cells. As I said earlier, or I had explained in definition. In eukaryotic cell, it shows the presence of what? Nucleus. And prokaryotic cell, it shows the absence of nucleus. Next example, what I said, the example of prokaryotic, that is bacteria. Yes, it contains cytoplasm, pillars, then bacterium flagellum, then ribosomes, DNA, plasma membrane, cell wall and capsule. Then cell theory says that the all living microorganism or all living things are made up of cell. Second, the cells are the basic unit of structure and function in all living things. Next, the new cells are only made up of from the existing cells. Keep in mind, it is important what I am saying. First thing, all living things are made up of cells. Then second, cells are the basic units of structure and function in all living things. The next, new cells are only made up of from existing cells. Then these are the two different cells. I have said earlier, the prokaryotic cells and eukaryotic cells. Example of prokaryotic, it is bacteria. An example of eukaryotic, it is animal cell and plant cell. Then we will see the traits of prokaryotic. First, they do not having, yes, what is that is they do not having the nucleus, and their genetic material is not stored in the nucleus. They have some organelles structure but not many. They are less complicated than the eukaryotics. All bacteria are prokaryotics. Most are the unicellular, but some prokaryotics are multicellular. Then next, Traits of eukaryotics, they all having nucleus where the genetic material of the cell is stored. This is the basic difference between the eukaryotic and prokaryotics. Then next, they have many organelles that work together to help the functioning of cell. Then more traits of eukaryotics. The eukaryotic cells are much more complex than the prokaryotic cells. Then they can be just one cell or can make up one more complex multicellular organisms. All plants, animals, fungi and protists are the examples of eukaryotic cell. Yes, this is the structure of prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell. I have already told us the difference between prokaryotic and eukaryotic. I am repeating, this is the structure of prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell. It also contains the plasma membrane, cytoplasm, DNA, nucleoid region and ribosome. In general, the microbes or microorganisms may be either prokaryotic, for example, what? That is bacteria, or eukaryotic. Yes, examples of eukaryotic: protists, fungi, and some animals. Yes, this is also the difference between prokaryotic and eukaryotic. We will see the characteristics difference between prokaryotic and eukaryotic. First types, it is bacteria, and it is protist, fungi, plant or animals. Then organization, it is unicellular, and what I am saying, it is usually multicellular. Exception is protista. Then cell size, it is smaller, it is larger. In smaller it is 0.1 to 10 micrometer, and larger it is 10 to 100 micrometer. Then next, membrane bounded organelle, it is absent in prokaryotic and it is present in eukaryotic. Then reproduction, it is in prokaryotic it is asexual reproduction, and eukaryotics it is sexual, or it is sometimes it is asexual. Then next, DNA in prokaryotic it is circular DNA, and it is in eukaryotic it is linear DNA. Then protein associated with DNA, it is basic, and it is in eukaryotic it is histone. Then plasma membrane, it is no sterols and it is sterols. Then ribosome, it is 70S, and in eukaryotics it is 80S. Then cytoskeleton, it is absent in prokaryotics and it is present in eukaryotics. This is the basic difference between the prokaryotic cells and eukaryotic cells. I will stop here.